Hey, 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 it's Friday night, and you know what that means. 3 hours of professional wrestling. Let's go. SmackDown kicks off from Baltimore, Maryland with the draft. It's day one of the draft. It immediately starts off. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville come out and they do the first 4 picks. The funny thing is they said that they're going to do the draft, but the results aren't going to take effect for 3 weeks. So why not just wait to do the draft until after Crown Jewel? The first overall pick is, of course, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. He stays on SmackDown. SmackDown, I guess, because they're the show that does day one. They get the first pick. Number 2 is going to be Big E. He's going to Raw. Staying on Raw, I should say. So number 3 is Charlotte gets drafted to SmackDown. Number 4, Bianca Belair gets drafted to Raw. So now we've got both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion on SmackDown, and Bianca Belair is the first woman drafted, the second woman drafted to go to Raw without a title. That doesn't make sense. So that kind of makes me think that that she's going to win the triple threat match at Crown Jewel to become the SmackDown Women's Champion, and then her and Charlotte can do a switcheroo like the Street Profits and the New Day did 1 year ago. After the first 4 picks, we then get a recap of Extreme Rules, Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor, and they highlighted, I'm sorry, I can't, I know we've probably seen enough of the highlights, but they highlighted the what I call the Demon Fish Flop. All right, that's where the music and the lights kick on, and the demon starts just flopping like a dead fish. Roman Reigns comes out. Great segment. He cuts a promo and then gets interrupted by Brock Lesnar, which is always fun. I love Brock Lesnar, and it's always great when he's in the arena. It doesn't matter. He draws a pop. Brock Lesnar is great. So Brock Lesnar comes in, him and Roman Reigns go back and forth, they tussle anyway. Brock Lesnar gets the upper hand, sends Roman out of the ring, and then the Usos are in there. He beats up Jimmy Uso, and then he goes to beat up Jey Uso, which I thought was interesting, and they cut to Roman, and you saw him, and he was just like, no, not Jey. So is he favoring Jey over Jimmy? Does this mean something for further down the road? I just thought it was very subtle, but very interesting as well. After all that, we then cut to a Charlotte promo. KO, we get Kevin Owens versus Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin has his new lackey down there. What is it? Madcap Moss. This was a very short match. It was decent. It was okay. Corbin and Moss were laughing, and it just reminded me of a scene from The Lion King where the hyenas were laughing hysterically. I thought it was funny. Not really the best wrestling match. There were a couple decent spots, but for Corbin to go over KO the way that he did, it's just unsatisfying. Kevin Owens deserves much better. Becky and Bianca recap from Extreme Rules. For break, they announced the return of the King of the Ring and an introduction to what's called the Queen's Crown tournament, which I think is cool. I like that. The only thing that I don't like, I love the King of the Ring tournaments, and the only thing that I don't like is them spreading it out over the course of several nights, several weeks even. Bring back the, tournament in one night. Let's do it. Let's see who the King of the Ring is, or the Queen's Crown, deserves the Queen's Crown, Queen of the Ring. Let's see who deserves it in one night. It is a tournament, a will of endurance. They should do it like that. They used to do it like that. It was fantastic. They should bring it back like that. 4 picks of the draft, and you've got number 5. You got Drew McIntyre being drafted to SmackDown, which is fantastic. You've got RK Bro staying on Raw. You've got the New Day. Yes, number 7, the New Day, just Kofi and Woods going to SmackDown after Big E, your WWE champion, is staying on Raw. The fans booed. My reaction was ridiculous. I do not like this choice. We just got the New Day back together. Why are we doing this again? A whole nother year now? No, just keep them together. Come on, it's wonderful. That we got number 8, Edge is going to Raw. That is fantastic. Love Edge. Everything about Edge. I think the Edge today is the best version of Edge I've ever seen. It's fantastic, and I'm glad he's going to Raw because that's going to definitely pick up that brand a lot. To Drew McIntyre promo, who just, got drafted to SmackDown, and he lets everybody know that he is coming for the Universal title. We then get an Edge and Seth Rollins segment. Edge comes out and does what Edge does, cuts a great promo to get interrupted by Seth, who is at his house. Now, this has been done before. Was it okay? It started off okay. And then the segment just went too long. Seth walking around Edge's empty house, eating apples and stuff out of his fridge, and it was just lame. I love everything that Edge and Seth do. This segment particularly, I do not like it. Then, after almost an entire hour with one match, which was KO versus Happy Corbin. It's a women's match, Carmella versus Liv Morgan. Or so I thought, because Carmella gets out of the ring, she puts on a mask, comes back in, next thing I know, it's over. No bell, no pin, or at least not that I caught, because it just happened so fast, and it just was nothing. Ace. I don't understand. I don't get it. And they just fought at the pay-per-view. It doesn't make sense to me. After that, we get round 3 of the WWE draft. Number 9 is going to be Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss staying on SmackDown. Number 10, we got Rhea and Nikki, and this was another thing that was weird. Rhea and Nikki, women's tag champions. Only one set of women's tag champions are being drafted to Raw, which, again, I guess we all thought that women's tag champions were all over the brands, or at least could jump back between the two majors. And then we got Hit Row. Hit Row from NXT. It's coming up. Where are they going? They're going to SmackDown. Hit Row got drafted to SmackDown. Been hearing rumors about that, but they made it official. And Keith Bearcat Lee staying on Raw at number 12. We got a New Day and Street Profits versus Dirty Dogs and the Alpha Academy match. I gotta say, really enjoyed it. I enjoy all of these guys. The match was decent, I will say that. Otis is fantastic. Montez Ford is fantastic. Everybody in that match is fantastic. I was kind of hoping that Robert Roode would be the one to pick up the windfall. He kind of, 1 second I thought he was going to, but he did not. It was Xavier Woods who pinned Robert Roode. There you have it. New Day and Street Profits win, and everything's happy after being split from Big E once again. All right. After that, we got round 4 of the WWE draft. Number 13, Naomi stays on SmackDown, which Sonya Deville, she didn't like that. And number 14, Rey and Dominic Mysterio got drafted to Raw. They're going to Raw. Another switch. Number 15, Jeff Hardy got drafted to SmackDown, so that's exciting. There was a nice crowd pop on that. So, of course, everybody still loves Jeff Hardy, and we want him to have the run that he definitely deserves. Number 16, Austin Theory from NXT, another NXT call-up. He's going to Raw. The thing that I also thought was funny about this was they mentioned during the draft that they were doing half of the roster tonight, the other half of the roster on Raw. So minus the few tag team hookups, if you do 16 plus 16, that's 32, and let's say a couple of tag teams, let's say 35. Let's even be generous and say 40. They're telling us that they have 40 members on the roster, 40 men and women on the WWE roster. I guess it kind of makes sense after all the mass cuts, right? They immediately cut back and go to Jeff Hardy, who before he can say one or two words, Brock Lesnar comes up, cuts him off. Jeff Hardy kindly walks away because you know you don't mess with the Beast. The Beast comes in and talks. He starts talking. He says thanks to Paul Heyman, his good friend Paul Heyman, that he is a free agent. He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to be on Raw. He doesn't have to be on SmackDown. He can do whatever he wants. The freedom of Brock Lesnar, and he credits Paul Heyman. Which then, of course, they cut to Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman in the locker room. And I gotta say, like, this made me laugh so much, and for the right reasons, because Paul Heyman's acting is fantastic. However, it's overacting, I believe. It's like a Jim Carrey movie. It's just overacting. I love you, Jim Carrey. Tears, his crying, his fear, all of it combined in one. It was just comical to me, but just wonderful because it did look very, very real. And we finally come to the main event, which is Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, WrestleMania rematch. And this match was okay. Becky Lynch, her music hit, she comes down, it's on the commentary table. The match again was decent, but all I could hear, I felt like the entire match, was chirping back and forth between Michael Cole and Becky Lynch. And it was annoying. It was very annoying. I was trying to enjoy this match, and it was hard for me to do that because of that. However, there were some good spots. There were also some messy spots. All in all, it was a decent match. Becky gets involved. Sasha gets the roll up, and Sasha wins. Beats Belair right there. And to close out the show, then they have Charlotte Flair. The Omni Flair. Charlotte Flair comes down, kicks somebody in the face. I don't even remember which woman it was. Kicked one of them in the face. Charlotte Flair is standing tall at the end of SmackDown. All in all, I will say I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a decent show. A lot of promos, backstage segments, talking. There were 4 matches. Not a lot of time, and I don't even know if you can consider the Liv Morgan and Carmella match a match. There was no bell, there was nothing. So let's say 3 matches. 3 matches over a 2-hour span. All newsworthy segments, but SmackDown was decent. Out of 5, I give it a 3. So then, you know, as soon as SmackDown is over, we jump right over to TNT for AEW Rampage, the 3rd and final hour of Friday Night Pro Wrestling. Rampage starts off very fast, very hot, very energetic, like the last few AEW shows have been doing. Bryan Danielson comes out to a loud Rochester crowd. They're still in there, of course, you know, celebrating Brody Lee. It's Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. And what do you expect from this match? It is what we thought it was going to be. It was fun, and it was fantastic. I did think that it was the battle of the kicks. There was a lot of kicking back and forth. It was like boom, 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 kick, 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 the other person, switch it up. Oh, super kick. Oh, another kick. Oh, just kick back and forth. Oh, back. It was the battle of the kicks. There's some really good spots, aerial spots from Nick Jackson. Across the ring, jumping up on the turnbuckle, flipping on the outside. It was fantastic. Danielson got Nick Jackson to tap out, and after the match was over, the Elite ran out, and then before the Elite could do anything, Express Christian Cage came out, and then they just started going back and forth, and before you know it, Jungle Boy has Adam Cole tapping out, and Bryan Danielson has Kenny Omega tapping out right in the middle of the ring to close that segment. After that, we got Hobbs, a promo from Hobbs to introduce a promo from Ricky Starks. Then we cut to a CM Punk promo. It was a good one, but what do you expect? CM Punk, you know what he's gonna do. Then we got the 3-way match, not the triple threat match, but 3-way match between Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, and Thunder Rosa. This match was decent. Thunder Rosa is definitely the best wrestler out of the 3. I really like Jade Cargill, but she is still super green. You can see it in the ring. She definitely just needs more time, more practice. But she is something phenomenal. She is the perfect combination between Storm and Chyna. Jade Cargill got the win. It was a great spot where Thunder Rosa put Nyla Rose through the table. Jade Cargill took advantage and got the pin. Then we cut to a Malachi Black promo. He seemed like he was out to collect debts. And then we got the word. Another forbidden door being broken open. It's Sammy Guevara versus Bobby Fish for the TNT title on AEW Dynamite next Wednesday, and I am super excited about this. This is fantastic. I love it when they do stuff like this. This is what makes AEW so much fun. The forbidden door, once again, being busted wide open, and I love it. And we come to our main event. Hair versus hair match. Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. And again, another good, fun match. Jack Evans is really good, is great at selling. Orange Cassidy, I didn't really think he was going to lose this match, and of course he didn't. He got the win. Jack Evans got his hair cut, and that was a lot of hair to be cut. And we close out with Orange Cassidy and the Dark Order and -1 standing in the middle of the ring in the hometown of old Brody Lee. And it was a wonderful way to close out the show. For AEW Rampage, I will give a 3 out of 5 as well. So I enjoyed both shows. Both shows get a 3 out of 5. And it was a Friday night well spent.